Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have straight up 7 o'clock, so we will call our regular board meeting to order. We have 6 of 7 members present, so we do have a quorum. Let the record reflect Mr. Duran is the only absentee. Our next item will be our pledge and our prayer. Mr. Williams.
Okay, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Dr. Hudson, President Hildebrand, Board of Trustees, parents, and community. It gives me great pleasure to introduce 2 fine students of Jasper High School for the pledges this evening. First, we have Selena Martin. Selena ranks 14th in the top 10% of a class of 170. She currently has a 3.9 GPA and has been on the A honor roll all year. Selena has been very active while at Jasper High School. She is currently enrolled in AP courses. She is a member of the National Honor Society and serves as secretary. She serves as the co-captain of the varsity cheerleading squad. Upon graduation, Selena plans to attend Baylor University, where she will major in chemistry. While attending Jasper High School, Selena has been active in many extracurricular activities. She has been a member of the JV softball team, varsity track, cheerleading, theater, and academic UIL team. She has competed at the state level in cheerleading for the past 3 years. Her freshman year, her cheerleading team took first place at the state UIL cheer competition. She competes with the UIL academic number sense, calculator, and mathematics teams. She became a member of the NHS her sophomore year. She has been awarded various awards throughout her time at Jasper High School. In addition to academics, Selena is also very involved in the community and church. She has been a part of the World Changes and traveled to Puerto Rico and Tennessee, where she was part of the construction team during home repairs and ministry to others. Next we have Christian Krause. Christian ranks number 4 in the top 10% out of a class of 170. He is consistently on the academic A honor roll. Throughout his high school years, he has pushed himself academically by taking AP and dual credit courses. He is a member of the National Honor Society. Upon graduation, Christian plans to continue his education at Texas A&M University, majoring in accounting. While attending Jasper High School, Christian has been active in various extracurricular activities. He has been a member of the Jasper High School varsity soccer team for 3 years. He has also been a member of the Jasper High School varsity basketball team for 3 years. He is also a letterman for the Jasper High School varsity football team during his junior year. He has been named to the academic all-district team in soccer, basketball, and football. He will be a 4-year letterman on the varsity track team and has been an area qualifier in the 800-meter run and regional qualifier in the 4x4 relay. Let me skip on down. Christian has a lot here. Academically, Christian has participated on UIL academic team headline writing and social studies. He placed 2nd in district and was a regional qualifier in headline writing. He also placed 6th in social studies and 2nd team in social studies. Christian has been a member of the Quiz Bowl team, competing at competitions in the Houston and Beaumont area. Christian has participated and received honors in the Jasper community. He has performed missionary work for 4 years, building wheelchair ramps, bringing goods, and interacting with nursing homes all across the country, from Mobile, Alabama to Nashville, Tennessee. He has served as speaker and MC of the citywide talent show, awards night, scholarship night, JISD convocation, and the Veterans Day program. In addition, Christian has volunteered at the Miss Jasper pageant for 3 years. At this time, we welcome.
Stand, salute, pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas
Flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Make them all.
Let us remain standing. Leading us in prayer tonight will be Reverend Harden.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to even do it.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Father, we ask that you be with us in our endeavors. We teach the children and we want to help them to accomplish all that they need to do. But give us the wisdom that we may do it in your name. Bless our superintendent, bless our board members, and bless the parents and these that are here. And may we go strong in your grace. Please forgive us our sin. And let us do our best to let the world know that Jasper teach the children. Jasper love the children. And our country, our states, and our nation does the same thing. Be with us, take care of us, and we go back to our homes. Let no harm or danger come upon us. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Harden.
Yes, sir.
At this time, we will have our recognitions. First, we'll have employee recognitions, followed by some student recognitions.
Okay, so we have the Believe Award. So the first one we have is Ms. Jacqueline Slayton. Why does she deserve the Believe Award? Ms. Slayton comes to work at the junior high and has proven to be very beneficial to the advanced math program. I am very appreciative of the hard work she puts in with our advanced study students during their first trying years on this track. It can be very draining and daunting, but she stays the course. Last year, her first with us, she asked me, "What do you need from me?" And when I told her, I knew without a doubt she would do it. Teaching my 7th grade advanced studies students this year just confirmed that she is doing her best to prepare them for the advanced track of 4 years of math in 3 years. I am honored to nominate her for the Believe Award, and that's from Ms. Deborah Stoba.
You got another one?
Yes, I have one. Yes.
Cool.
Next we have Mr. Jared Colley from Jasper Junior High School. I don't think Ms. Colley is here. Reason for nomination, Jared is a great role model to the children he comes in contact with. My nephew speaks highly of him. I have watched him interact with his football team as well as children after school to make sure they were safe, understood their schoolwork, and made sure they didn't need anything. I believe he would be a great recipient for the Believe Award and nominated by Ms. Cassandra Lane. Next we have Mr. Bernard Brock. Roll Tide, right? He's Auburn. Reason for nomination, Mr. Brock is a new employee at Pew Primary. From day one, he has gone above and beyond to meet the needs of our campus. He is dedicated to building a relationship with all students, stays late to help with bus duty regularly, always greets everyone with a smile, and does anything that is asked of him. The positive relationships that he has formed with the students on our campus do not go unnoticed. He believed in every child, and that makes him a great asset to our students and for our district. And this is from Christy Smith.
I know, I started that soon.
Always agree. Miss Jocelyn has enough feeling.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Say something.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Would you stick your head out there and ask them young men to step inside, please?
Tell her it's a child outside. Yeah, I can figure something.
Y'all come on up this way. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been up close and personal with Super Bowl champions, this is the Pee Wee Tackle Football Super Bowl champions, so, from Jasper. So, and I believe, was there 24 players total? 26. 26, and 20 of the 26 are A honor roll students. On and off the field both, in and out of the classroom, Super Bowl champions. Congratulations, young men. Good job well done. We look forward to many years of good success. Is that good? Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
Any questions, want to say anything?
Any of y'all want to say anything? Go, you hairy dog, or anything?
What do you guys say, Brooks? Max? What do you guys say to the crowd?
Show me your rings.
Yeah, I see the rings.
All right.
Rings.
Afraid to lose.
Yes. You should. You should. All right, you get a group photo, Miss Johnson?
I see if everybody scoots in just a little
Squeeze
more,
in
yes
close.
sir, can. A little more, there we go, let's see. Okay, everybody smile. Good job.
Thank you. All right, congratulations.
Come this way.
Like a snake. Y'all do a lot of bullshit in football, y'all. Just line it up. Congratulations.
Good job.
Brooks, good job, man.
Oh, man, gotta be a ring. Gotta be another ring.
Let's go.
All right, our next item will be our open forum. We do have one individual signed up to speak. And with that, it's Reverend Harden. Reverend Harden, I believe you know the ground rules probably better than
Yes,
any
sir.
of us, but just to highlight, you know, can't address anyone by name or individually, don't be mean to us or anyone in our district. You have 3 to 5 minutes. You're on the clock.
All right, thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
To our superintendent, to our board members. I have in my hand, and they say you can get it online, the progress that we have made in our schools this year, last year, and this year. And it's just wonderful. We, I think, was in the upper class of every school around here. We didn't have nothing to be ashamed about. My wife passed about 3 years ago, and on her grave she asked to put, train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he's old, he'll not depart from it. I also have in my hand the progress that we're making in 2014, and it was pretty good even then. But now it's sure good. Y'all keep up the good work, because after all, that's what we're here for. You're here for the children. I ain't got a one in high school, but my wife told me, as long as one wants to go to school, and she make me do this, I have to give them some money. Might not be much, but I'll give them some money. If one enrolled in college, she told me, Reverend, you give some money. We got one that left our church and went to Wiley, and I'm trying to get 2 more. Now don't you say I said this. If they're still around here, they ain't gonna do nothing but have babies. You ain't, well, I told them that. That's what I told them to their face. And some of them, and they are AB students. They ought to be somebody's college. And you pray that they do. And I told them if they didn't go, I was going to pick them up and carry them over there. But I like the progress that we're making, and we ask that you all stay together, and let's continue to make progress. We're here for the children. And if you're here for anything else, as administrator, I coached for 23 years. And Brother Hudson, when you beat Coach Harden, you had a hard time doing it. I lost some, I won some. But Jesse Jackson, who is a self-made black millionaire in Roseback, Texas, I never forget him. He was one of my best quarterbacks that I've ever coached. Now we got the sign that the progress that we're making, and Jasper is making progress. I call the city today. And we're growing. Y'all ought to sit down there at Brookshire and watch the trucks. It's almost compact right there at that 4-way stop. You ought to see it. We're making progress. And don't let nothing stop progress within our school. I'm going to read what George Washington said, and I'm going to sit down. I got the other 5 minutes from somebody. A primary knowledge should be to education of our youth in the science of government, in republic, what spices our knowledge can be equally important, and what duty more pressing than communicating it to those who are to be the future guardians of liberties of our country. That's George Washington. That's what he said. Now, if you ain't gonna care for the children, forget it. They're gonna break in your houses. They ain't gonna finish school. They're gonna end up in prison, and you have to pay for them. But if you teach them and educate them, and let them know that we are together, that we love each other, we want to help each other. And old John Harden, to buy one book, science books are $75 to $100. I'll buy one book if he's going. Please be together. Now the sign out there at the house school, everybody's seen that. I want to put one on 190 and let them know that we're making progress. They put them signs out if we were low in grades. We're already making progress now. We ought to put a sign of our Coach Kovac, and Coach Witherspoon, and Coach Williams. Those people did hard on out that we might be outstanding in every way, not just athletics, but in every way. And I want to help with a sign, but try to nominate me, if you will. So put on 190 or 96 and let them see the progress that we're making, not only school-wide, but also in our athletics. Now, if I made you mad, get your tithes in the church Sunday and go to Sunday school, and you'll feel better. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you. get into our business items. Our first will be our consent agenda. Does any member need any item removed for consideration? If not, do we have a motion to accept as presented?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Dr. Van Kamak, a second by Ms. Martindale. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, show of right hand. It's accepted 6-0. Thank you very much. Business and action items. Our first one will be to consider and if appropriate, approve the superintendent evaluation instrument. Dr. Hudson.
The board shall evaluate and assess and evaluate the performance of the superintendent at least once each year during the term of contract. The board evaluation assessment of the superintendent shall be reasonably related to the duties of the superintendent as outlined in the superintendent job description and on the district's progress towards accomplishing the district goals. The evaluation format procedure shall be in accordance with board policy and state and federal laws. The evaluation shall include recommendation as to areas of improvement in instances where the board deems performance to be unsatisfactory. A copy of the written evaluation shall be delivered to the superintendent, and the superintendent shall have the right to make a written response to the evaluation within 30 days of receipt of the written evaluation, which shall become a permanent attachment to the evaluation in the superintendent personnel file. The superintendent evaluation shall be treated as confidential in accordance with applicable state laws. And I have an addendum because there was a little minor changes, so it's this one, the one that we're approving. So at this time, the only thing was the rating scale, was the change in it. So at this time, administration recommends that the board approves the superintendent evaluation instrument.
We have a recommendation from administration to approve the superintendent evaluation instrument. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Stephen Martinez. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tom Webb. Any discussion?
Is this in line with TASB's recommendation for evaluation too?
No, you have to get the two approved, so it's either one or the other. There's the TASB, and then there's the one if it's more aligned to what you want to do inside the district.
So this came from where?
This is based upon the district goals that were approved from the board last December, and these are the, based on that, the evaluation tool is based on that.
Thank you.
Anything else? If no other discussion or questions, all in favor, show of right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much. Our next item will be to consider and if appropriate, approve Jasper ISD attorneys or law firms listed to be used.
Under board policy BDD local, the board shall retain an attorney or attorneys as necessary to serve as the district legal counsel and represent the matters requiring legal services. Services to be performed, the reason the compensation to be paid by the board shall be set forth in the written contract between the board and attorneys or attorneys. In accordance with the written contract, the board members shall channel legal inquiries to the superintendent, board president, or board designated as appropriate when seeking advice or information from the district legal counsel. Staff shall submit requests for legal advice from the district legal counsel to the superintendent designee upon request of the board or when deemed necessary by the superintendent. The superintendent shall report advice from legal counsel. And I have listed firms to be used, which includes Wells, Payton, Greensburg, and Hunt, TASB Legal Department, TEA Legal Department, KBB through our Region 5 Co-op, Powell Leon through our TER membership, and Walsh Gavos, Trevino, Rosso, and Cal DC. And then we have a couple special education, election, as well as tax attorneys that we utilize. At this time, administration recommends approving the list of JISD law firms.
We have a recommendation from administration to approve the attorneys and or law firms as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Tom Webb, second by, is that Mr. Martinez? Mr. Martinez. Any discussion?
I do have some questions on this. In our packet, we didn't have anything on any of these firms as far as what their experience with school law is. I'm curious why we would have a list of attorneys when most districts have a attorney, which would be Tanner Hunt, that is very familiar with our district for many years. So I would like to see us maybe look at either a retainer arrangement with him or a contract where we can contract and negotiate our fees. If I understand correctly, we're currently on an hourly fee with Mr. Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and all these other firms that we shouldn't have been using, I'm assuming were hourly, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't it be more advantageous to our district and more cost-effective to be under an agreement instead of an hourly fee? And, and I also, TASB has a wonderful tool on their site for what our direction should be for seeking an attorney, if we're even seeking one, and a good guide for us to follow. And it's not just recommending a list of attorneys to us. I mean, we have no information on any of these people. We don't know what they're charging us. We don't know if you're proposing an hourly fee or a retainer. Are they familiar with our district? Most certainly, our current attorney that we have used for how many years? Forever. Is most certainly familiar with our district, and we've already been put in a situation where we didn't take our attorney's advice and took someone else's advice, which I felt left our board in a very liable situation. So, I would like more than just a list provided to the board for us to be able to make a educated decision on this.
Would you be interested, or would you consider amending the motion to include Mr. Hunt's firm, our tax attorneys? No, amend the motion instead of all-inclusive. Amend the motion that we approve the ones that we have to have.
I'd like to amend the motion to approve our existing attorney and for you to bring back to this board what your proposal is with some type of background on these attorneys and why we're even, I've never heard, I called a few districts, no one has multiple attorneys.
Well, we need to include the tax attorneys and the special ed attorneys. They need to be approved with the firm.
Well, how have we done it all these years without them approved?
We have an agreement with them, with the tax.
Okay, so then that agreement needs to be placed in our packet for us to review, don't you think? And that's just my opinion, but I would make a motion that that be provided to us before we make any decisions.
Okay.
Every law firm has different specializations that, in case Dr. Hudson finds himself in a situation where he has a question, maybe that's catered towards special education or tax,
I
if we have
understand
that
that,
list, well, let me talk, I didn't disrupt you. If Dr. has that availability to be able to reach out to these different law firms, I think that's what us coming here and approving a list allows us to this. We're saying you don't know who the Texas Education Agency Legal Department is. Obviously they have to have some kind of background and, experience and to be able to handle different things. It just allows us to be able to not just seek maybe a general legal opinion when we need a specialized legal opinion on special ed or something of that sort.
And I understand that, but I think the way that normally works is your attorney seeks that out for you. With other districts, is why you have one attorney to go to, if I understand correctly.
Do you want,
And they seek out the specialized legal counsel or specialized advice for you.
do you want to make an amendment? Mr.
Yes, I would like to amend the motion
Okay.
that whatever attorneys you would like for us to work with, what the purpose is of seeking individual attorneys outside of our regular attorney, and their background. And I would like to amend the motion also where we do at least continue with Tanner Hunt's firm in the interim of whatever it is we're trying to do here.
So basically amend it to where we're approving Mr. Hunt's firm.
To continue,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
All right, we have an amendment to the motion. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion. Second.
We have did she amend you second? Okay. Any other discussion?
Can you clarify what we're amending?
Basically, rather than approve the list, we're approving Mr. Hunt's firm, and then we'll revisit the other.
Are we including the special ed elections and tax ones, or no?
No, her amendment did not include that. Any other questions, discussion? All in favor of the motion as amended, show of right hand. All opposed? So the amendment fails 2-4. And back to the original motion, made by Mr. Webb, seconded by Mr. Martinez. All in favor, show of right hand. All opposed? It passes.
Well, Glenn, I would like to put on the record that we are making this decision without any information other than a list of names.
So noted.
Thank you.
Our next item will be to consider and if appropriate, take action to ratify and confirm the appointment of teachers and qualified persons to serve on the District ISD District Innovation Committee. Dr. Hudson.
Mr. President, in ratification and confirmation of action taken by the Board of Trustees at its meeting on November 12, 2018, I move that the following person be renominated to serve as members of the Jasper ISD District Innovation Committee. Teachers, coaches Naomi Rutledge, Tressa Landers, Regina McDonald, all at Pugh Elementary. Anita Todd, Katie McKnight, Elaine Harrison, all at Parnell Elementary. Deborah Cordova, Christine Jackson, Jocelyn Adams, Sarah Craig, all at Jasper Junior High. Mary Ann Summerall, Stephen McCullough, Joseph Molina, Laura McMillan, Margaret Canazzi, Kim Powers, Jennifer Controlli, all at Jasper High School. Paraprofessionals and others, Karen Barley, Jasper Junior High, Jeanette Kane, Jennifer Morgan, and Jamil Powell, and all at Jasper High School. Parents, Bridget White, Kim Sparks Fowler, and Jennifer Few. Business owners / community, Eddie Hopkins, Brenda Joe, Todd McDonald, and Lindy Tapp. Rosvaldo Perez, Bridget Stott, and Tommy Street declined to serve, and those being nominated to replace them are Brenda Joe, Mark Canazzi, and Eddie Hopkins. Mr. President, I so move that these qualified persons be renominated, or as indicated, initially nominated to serve as the District Innovation Committee members.
We have a recommendation from administration to approve the nominations and or renominations as presented. Do we have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Conwell, second by Mr. Martinez. Any discussion?
Yes, I had emailed Dr. Hudson about the alternates we use. They weren't proportionate with the categories that declined. And I didn't hear back from you, so.
Yeah, when we did the alternates, we had 4 teachers and 3 others, which encompassed that whole group over there. And we were hopeful that everyone that was initially nominated, no one would decline. But when we went to the others, the main criteria, we wanted to make sure that 6% of the people serving were teachers. And
Well,
so,
but they were replaced with 2 community. We had a
we have
teacher, a
one teacher,
paraprofessional,
one
and a
paraprofessional.
community.
So the teachers in the teacher category, when this got, when she declined, it went to the first alternate on the teacher side, which was Ms. Kunizi. And so then Ms. Perez, when she declined, it went to the first alternate on the other side, which was Brenda Joe. And then when Mr. Tommy Street declined, then it went to the second alternate on the other side, which was
But that
Eddie
gives
Hopkins.
us too many communities. We need a replacement on that
When we did alternates,
paraprofessional.
we did 4 and 3, only because of, that's the way we set up. We was hopeful that we wouldn't have to go to alternate, but I wanted to do an additional round for alternates. And so instead of coming back, that's why we did the additional round for the alternates, so that if someone actually did decline, one of the criteria was to make sure that each board member spoke to the people that they were nominating, so that they would already know that this was gonna be a possibility. And then once we start going through and checking, we did have some people that declined the offer.
Well, I understand that, but our original categories that we were given, that's not gonna put us where we were supposed to be. We
It's just
still
a-
need one more teacher in that group.
Now, the teachers, we have the same amount of teachers that we would have had.
We had a paraprofessional
We
decline.
had others, which would have, the others including professionals and everything else. But when we did the alternates for we include the alternates, for that group with the others as well as the business community.
Well, I understand, but we had a teacher replaced with a teacher with an alternate.
Yes,
The paraprofessional was replaced with a business person.
yes.
And the business person was replaced with a business person.
We did
But
not,
that paraprofessional should have
didn't
been
have-
replaced with either a teacher or a paraprofessional, a staff member.
we didn't have any alternates. There was never, anything offered besides the teachers, which we had 4, and then we had 3 that were on the other side. And so that was encompassing on that side. Now, I thought it was very clear there that when we set that up, where the alternates would come from. That's why we did the alternates. Now we have alternate 1, alternate 2, alternate 3, alternate 4, just in case there was a contingency plan, and that's where they came from. So it wasn't, besides reconvening, but that's when we had set up that these were the alternates and everything else, and how we would go through the alternates if someone declined. And that's how we ended up in this situation.
So we don't need to nominate for that.
Any other questions or comments? If none, all in favor of the recommendation, show of right hand. All opposed, like sign. It carries 6-0. Thank you very much. Our next item will be to consider and if appropriate, approve donation of equipment. Ms. Horton.
The district will be receiving a donation of equipment from the Texas Workforce Commission grant for high demand jobs for JISD Career Tech Education Programs. In your packet, there is a copy of the donation form and along with a list of the equipment that's being donated to Jasper ISD. Total value of the donated equipment is $32,476.89. In accordance with our board policy CDC local, board approval is required in order to accept donations $2,500 or greater. Administration recommends that the board approve the donation of equipment from TDC.
We have a recommendation from administration to approve the donation of equipment as presented. We have a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion by Ms. Martindale, a second by Ms. Stewart. Any questions or comments? If none, all in favor, show of right hand. All opposed, like sign. It carries 6-0. Thank you very much. Our next item will be to consider and if appropriate, approve financial audit report 2018. Ms. Horton.
At this time, Matt Rogers with Leader and Tidwell will present the 2018 audit report.
Good evening, my name is Matt Rogers. I'm with Weaver at the Connor office, and I've been on the engagement this year for the financial statement audit for fiscal year ending August 31st, 2018. I just want to say appreciate all the work that Paula does every year to prepare for the audits. It's a very time-consuming task to get us everything while also performing her day-to-day duties as well. And you should have a copy of this report in front of you. And it includes a lot of information. I believe I just looked at it, it was about 90 or 85 pages, so I'll try to slim it down for you, so I'm not going to keep you here for too long. On page 3, if you want to turn to page 3, this is the independent auditor's report. This is the report that we issue after the audit has been completed and finalized, and this gives the opinion that we issue on the financial statements. The district did receive an unmodified opinion this year, which is the highest level of assurance you can receive in a financial statement audit. And after the audit opinion letter, you have some information. It's called the management discussion and analysis. I won't go over this information. This is really just required reporting from Jasper, the Government Accounting Standards Board. But it does give you some useful year-to-year information if you're interested in looking at that. Rather, I would want to bring you to page 18. This is the balance sheet for governmental funds. And you'll notice here the general fund, the debt service fund, and the non-major funds or the special revenue funds. I'll just briefly kind of go over the numbers, and then if you have any questions, feel free to stop me and ask at any point in time. So for the general fund, as of August 31st, 2018, there were total assets of approximately $12.7 million, primarily comprised of cash of $7.6 million, investments of $1 million, and property tax receivables of $1.9 million. Total liabilities of just over $1 million. Deferred inflows of resources, this is the portion of your property taxes that have been assessed but have not been collected as of year-end. That's $1.8 million. And then total fund balance of approximately $1.8 million, or $9.8 million, sorry. The debt service fund, this is the fund that accumulates resources used to pay off your bonded debt obligations. You have total assets of $1,947,000, which is primarily cash and investments. Total liabilities of $2,400. Deferred inflows of resources of $267,000. Again, that is your property tax receivable that has not yet been collected. And then total fund balance of $1,677,000. On the next page is total non-major funds. This includes what are called your special revenue funds, which you know as Title I, Special Ed, Child Nutrition, things of that nature. Total assets of $1,624,000. Total liabilities of $1,021,000, and then total remaining fund balance of just over $600,000. You turn to page 22. This is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances. Essentially, this is the income statement for your governmental funds. For the general fund for the past year, total revenues were $23,368,000. Of that, you have $10,780,000 in local and intermediate sources, which is primarily your property tax revenue. State program revenues of $12,018,000. These are your foundation and other state aid from the state of Texas. Federal program revenues of $569,000. Total expenditures for the year, $21,687,000. And so you have a net increase of $1,681,000 in the general fund, which brings your fund balance from $8,145,000 to $9,826,000. And I looked at it earlier, ending fund balance is approximately 45% of your total expenditures, which is one of the metrics that most districts use to evaluate your financial stability. And so that equates to between 5 to 6 months of fund balance. Debt service fund, total revenues of $1,726,000, which is primarily your property tax revenue. The local and intermediate sources of $1,448,000. There's also some state funding and also some federal subsidy payments. And then the total expenditures for the year, $1,769,000. Those are your debt, principal, and interest payments on your bond obligations. So you have a net decrease of $42,753, which brings fund balance from $1,719,000 to $1,677,000. On the next page, total non-major funds. We have total revenues of $3,797,000, which is primarily federal program revenues. Total expenditures of $3,683,000. And an increase in fund balance of $111,000, so any fund balance of $602,000. Any questions so far? If you flip a couple of pages to page 27, this begins the notes of the financial statements. I won't cover these notes in detail, other than to say that it includes a lot of useful information to describe the balances in the basic financial statements that I just covered. One thing that is a significant change this year from last year is that you'll notice now that there are some added disclosures for the district's OPEB liability, post-employment